15 here with the second day of the IFSC Speed European Cup. Yesterday, we already had the youth going on here, the under 17 category and the under 19 category. So today it's the elite level, which means everybody who is more or less able to compete will compete today. It's going to be women's first. 18 climbers are going to be at today's event, and later on we're going to have for the qualification also 32 men competing in total. Everything should start with the qualification in the women's field in around 1 or 2 minutes or something like this here on this now a beautiful day on the 17th of August 2025. Later on, men, as I already mentioned, 32 climbers will also fight for joining the final later on. Well, yesterday we had already the finals, but just also with almost a 2-hour delay in the men's under 19 and women's under 19 category, not with the under 17 men or women. But now everything has changed a little bit. Weather seems to be very fine, and organization-wise, everything is also set up beautifully, so we can start with the qualification now at 11:15 and later on with the final at around 1:15 p.m. Well, also, again, here on my side is Lisa from the organizing committee. Lisa, well, I hope you've had a great day so far. How are you doing?
Yeah, it was a bit stressful just now, but we fixed everything, cleaned everything, so we're good to go.
Perfectly, because you're not only working here, also here co-hosting this very event. We'll see here the start list in the qualification of the women's, hosted also here by the Austrian Climbing Federation. It's going to be a Polish double that will open here in the next few seconds. Also, the leader of this event in the whole overall World Cup in speed is here. This is Capucine Villone from France. She will be in the very last heat of this day. 18 climbers will be participating, which means the final is going to look like
almost the same like the qualification. So 16 like women, and also at the men are proceeding to the finals.
16 and 16, here we go with the second day. The first day, of course, here on the elite level. Takova from the Ukraine, usually going up here with a final time of 7.88. And Tak from Poland falls back.
Tak also is the bronze medal winner of the under 19 category from yesterday.
Since we have a few double starters here on this day,
if you've watched yesterday, you may be able to recognize one or the other athlete, but there are also many new ones.
Well, it's of course elite level, as we already mentioned here right now in this whole field. So we'll see here. Second heat. Magdalena Blachnica from Poland and Mariana Mortarino. And the Italian with a couple of struggles here on the 15-meter wall in St. Polten, Austria, by the way. This is the Olympic Training Center located around 60 kilometers western side of Austria's capital of Vienna. 18 participants means, of course, also 18 heats that we're going to see in the qualification, as every athlete has 2 chances here. Already had a couple of practice chances in the morning. Lisa, you saw also the practices. Yeah, there were a few fast times already in the practice,
yes,
but they will not count, of course. Even though it's a world record, it will not count.
Yeah. The practice is just for getting to know the wall and the holds, and maybe even the weather.
It was raining once again here in the early morning, just a little bit, but the 30-minute delay, of course, also made sure that everything is safe and dry right now, especially at this very first start. Mengoli versus Le Bon, Italy versus France in the third out of 18 heats.
Mengoli also was at the start at yesterday's under 19 category. Also, just like now, had a bit of trouble through the whole competition, but managed to get into the finals.
Speed climbing the race against the clock on a standardized 15-meter wall. 2 climbers compete at a time. And of course, the one who can reach the top and hit the buzzer first is the winner of a respective race. Will advance to the finals. As for the women's, it's going to be a final of the top 16. Whoever wins this goes down in the bracket to the top 8, the top 4, the small and the big, the grand finale, who determine between the first and the second place. Now it's important out of those 2 heats that every athlete has that the faster time counts, and this will determine the position later on for the final.
Now we see Ksenia Horielova and Julia Pacheco-Porras. Horielova was actually the big favorite, or one of the big favorites for yesterday's under-19 final, but she slipped twice in the first round of the finales and fell, which meant she lost immediately. And that's the exciting part of speed climbing. It happens so fast, and the favorite can do like if he's just a millimeter off, he's gone.
Just to announce also yesterday's winners, because in the under-19 category, we, after a 2-hour break, still had the finals going on. Gilles Millet was the winner in the men's under-19 category, also competing today, 5:64 for the small final. Andrin Zeller got on the 3rd place, and also in the under-19 category.
Got the 2nd one.
Yeah, and in the women's, we had Evelina Rimac and Paulina Kalievich, with the French athletes made the 2nd place, first one for the Ukrainian. Heat number 5, Louise Fontaine from France, Johanna Nagel on the right side here from Austria, of course, wants to have a great position here at the end of the day. Fontaine doing very good.
Nagel as well, 8-2. Nice. So that makes Louise Fontaine now currently leading this competition, but I think her teammate Capucine Villon also has something to say, not against her but against that standing.
The Spanish team came here with a big crew, actually. Now we do have a Spanish duel between Leire Ruiz de Arjandonia Otano and Leslie Adriana Romero Perez. Heat number 6.
Yes, for anyone who watched the Paris Olympics in speed climbing, you might recognize Leslie. And here she also shows her class.
7:65 so far, the fastest time. As already mentioned, in a few moments we're also going to see Capucine Villon, not only the leader here in the Speed European Cup, also 10th place last year at the Olympic Games, at the home games in Paris. Natalia Bibro, Poland, against Alessia Lully from Italy.
Both competed yesterday as well, so they might even be a bit tired. And that's I'd say it's a fun thing for under 19 athletes.
Getting the double day in.
Yes.
Ready?
But it's also a big challenge.
Differing start and position a little bit, and the Italian once again struggling.
Yes.
And getting best friends here with as well. Natalia Bibro. 8:66 so far.
Yeah. That was a smooth run by Bibro. And also kind of close to her PB, which is 8:06.
Yeah, you're on the right side. You can see probably the favorite. 10th place at the Olympic Games. Shouldn't be too much of a piece of hard work for her to advance to the finals. Capucine Villion on lane B on the right side against Paulina Kalkiewicz from Ukraine.
At your marks.
22 years of age. French speed climber on the right side. There's something with the internal timing clock.
No.
Back to presentation.
That could mean that Capucine is out of this competition.
For stepping on a wrong pad or whatever happened.
No, the pad is the right thing, but she might have moved too early. If they cannot prove that it was a technical error, which is actually pretty hard in speed climbing, that could mean that this competition is over for her. Because if you do one false start, you're out in the adults category.
Well, I mean, let's hope for her that she still can compete. It's a little hard maybe to explain here to the audience why this should actually lead to a disqualification. I think that's the main one, chairman here from the IFSC, that just say, please, let's keep on going.
No?
No, I can't believe it, actually.
It's over for her.
And the tears are coming almost. I mean, come on, honestly.
Yes, you have
I mean, why
to.
is this the rule? I really cannot understand this.
I'm not sure why the rule is if you do one false start, you're immediately out.
Ready?
You have to place your pad really precise, because if you stand on it a bit too much to the edge, then it can happen that the contact of the pad doesn't fully close when you stand on it. And Capucine does it very beautifully, where she tries to gain momentum before the third signal hits, which you are allowed. But if you then just move your foot moves a bit too much, if you get a little too less weight on the pad, you're done. It's always heartbreaking to see it, but that's sadly the rules. And I'm really
I mean, you can
sure
see, you can see in the background they accepted the
At your marks.
decision.
I think they already, when we saw the referee
Ready?
discuss, you could see that it was with the coaches. They are now watching their own recording back to see if she really moved and where she stood on the pad, and probably try to fight back. You always, of course, try to challenge the decision.
However, Carla Martinez Vidal in the 9th heat, she won with a time of 7:87, which at the moment puts her in the 4th position. The fastest time comes from Leslie Adriana Romero Perez, and the favorites, as I already mentioned before, is out, and we're gonna get a little of a
Leslie
replay later.
also counts definitely as a favorite in this competition. So she has now less competition because of that small tiny mistake, but in climbing you don't. It's a duality that is not beautiful for the athletes, because they're all friends, no matter where in the world they are from. They know each other quite well, and you feel for your opponent, even if that means that you might win or you have won.
We're taking turns here, which means switching sides from A to B. Daria Dachova from the Ukraine and Karolina Ptak going for their second run in the heats in the qualification for the top 16. At the end of the day, so far only one athlete might not be able to top 16 later on at 1:15.
Well, two. But it also means if we have 2 more false starts, then we can't have a final with 16 people. Then it automatically jumps to 8.
Yeah, Viglioni already is out.
Yes.
So one more athlete.
Yeah, I was counting Capucin with it.
At your marks.
Heat 11 out of 18. Adriana Mortarino and Magdalena Blachnicka, Poland. Taking those 14, 15, 16 pulls that we need until the top.
Just wanted to say looking good for Magdalena. And the Italians again with big struggles.
For the fastest time, 7:65 for a top 5 position. As of right now, 7:88. Well, on the very top. It's pretty close at the moment.
Because there are so little women on the start today, it's a bit different. But usually in this category for the finals, you need to stay at definitely under 9 seconds, maybe even under 8, depending on how the wall is and who is competing.
Manon Levin against Eva Mengoli.
Ready?
Here on this actually third European Cup in speeds, as one got cancelled at the very total. At the end, there will be 4 that count. 8:06 for Levin.
Good time.
Puts also in the top 7 right now.
Eva just can't get the Tomoa right for 2 days in a row now. The Tomoa skip, for everyone who's not in speed climbing very deep, is where you skip the 4th hold and immediately go from 3 to 5 and or 5 and 6. And it is also a very precise move, and you need a lot of power in your legs. And depending on how much you can jump off the low footholds, you might need the wall a bit more, and this is what Eva struggles with. She can't get the wall to stick.
Julia Boras Pacheco against Ksenia Khorielova. Spain versus Ukraine. Got a Spain already here in the leads. Khorielova, very beautiful.
Yes, she's a very good speed climber. Again, Ksenia wants to make it right today after a really disappointing turn for her yesterday evening.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more heats to come till we get the final results of probably 16 finalists.
Yes, it's looking good. And we will continue with the men's pretty much right afterwards.
And later on with the final, 1:15, the men's competition. Gonna have 32 heats, means also 32 climbers in this case competing. In a few moments, Johanna Nagel from Austria against Louise Fontaine from France.
Ready?
The current 8th against the current 2nd placed French. But Nagel can slip a little bit here with the French for
Again.
But the French also again with a great time. This is the new fastest time that we have seen so far. 7:60 puts Louise Fontaine from the 2nd now into the 1st place.
If you look at the under 19 times from yesterday, it mostly adds kind of like adds up with the women's times today, as well with the boys and the men.
Stayed overnight here, most of them even in the rooms and hotel rooms of the Olympic Sports Complex here in St. Polten, Austria. Well, now she's in second place, Leslie Adriana Romero Perez, 7:65. Her teammate in 15th already.
I think one of the Italians even has the room right next to the wall, where if you would to be opened the window, you could see onto the wall. You see those two windows right there in the blue wall? These are actually hotel rooms.
But I see especially a very fast time right now. 7:12, an almost perfect run from Leslie Adriana Romero Perez. Takes the lead again after just falling back in the second position. Once again here, a Spanish leader, very clean and clear, 7.12. Alessia Lulli still needs a good time to make it to the top 16 against Natalia Bibro from Poland. 3 more heats to come.
Natalia currently has the 10th place, which on a tactical side would actually be a nice heat for the finale, but you always want to prove your time. You do not stop just because, well, that would be easier in the finale.
Ready?
This mid hold on the very left side, actually, almost nobody is using this one here.
This? Yeah, no one's using that one. The route was set first at a World Cup in, I think it was Chamonix.
Do you know how many years ago?
About 10 at least, something around that. And they... Capucin is already... Okay.
We're gonna get information about if this will be a valid time, I guess, in a few moments, but it feels like...
It has to be a valid attempt, otherwise she wouldn't be allowed to come out.
So not here for practice, but for attack. And she needs a time. She's got to go up there with a time of sub 13 seconds. Shouldn't be too hard for her, but of course she wants a fast time. Make it at least sub 8 seconds.
If you look closely, she stands very on the edge of the pad, which can lead to those little mistakes.
What is happening here?
This is the mind factor. If you have such a disappointing first run, it's hard to get back into the game.
And you could see she was immediately running out here in the backgrounds, not being focused, having still a little bit of tears in her eyes, unfortunately, out of the competition now officially.
That is a really hard thing to come around from, especially if it wasn't really her fault. She didn't move much. It was just her trying to get momentum. But if you have these disappointing turns and runs, it's so hard to just put that back and get into the zone again.
I'm not sure what I should think about this rule, but let's talk about this later after the qualification, maybe in the break.
Yeah.
Last one here for the women's side, Carla Martinez Vidal and Sofia Turchinska. Then we are through with the qualification
really
procedure.
Good run from Carla. Nice, 7-6 again.
Puts her still one placing ahead now at the 3rd place. That means Spain, France, Spain, the very top after the qualification.
Here you can see clearly the kind of like the European powerhouses at the moment. There comes our cleaning crew again, so that the holds and footholds are nice and grippy for the men. So we have only, I think, like 5 minutes top.
Well, we got a final fastest time of 7.12 seconds for the women's speed competition in the qualification, held by Leslie Adriana Romero Perez from Spain, Louise Fontaine from France in the second place, as you can see right now here. Fastest time, 7:12 the fastest time, 7:60 the second fastest. Carla Martinez Vidal with 7:62 in third place. Polina Kalievich 7:67. Here we go, that's it. Johanna Nagel, fastest Austrian so far, 8:23. In eighth place she is also qualified. And the top 16, as already mentioned, will advance to the final with Sofia Turczynska from Poland with 10:08 also making it here.
If we're talking tactics, this will be a very hard final for Johanna again, because she is in the 8th place. The first run in the finals is first against 16th. Afterwards, immediately, you have the 8th against the 9th. So whoever wins that immediately has to go against, well, the best of the competition so far. If you're maybe on the 4th place or the 6th, you have a bit more leeway until you arrive at the really, really top notch of athletes. But of course you can't really keep track of that in any way.
Well, here is the start list of the men's qualification as it is about to start within the next few minutes. 32 heats, 2 chances for every climber means 32 athletes that are about to start here as well. Plus,
8 of them are Austrian.
8 of them are from Austria, way more than actually in the women's discipline. Plus, with Amon, I guess we also might have a favorite because we saw a very, very good practice heat of him already.
Not only that, but he is currently one of the few Europeans who already ran a time below 5 seconds. So that is a big favorite here. We also have, for example, Linus Bader, who is the second fastest German. And of course, at the men's it's even closer, usually, than at the women's. Little mistakes for the men get punished almost harder than if you're starting in the women's category.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So we got 32 heats. After this, there will be a little bit of a break. Then it's the final of the top 16 in the women's and later on also in the men's field here at the IFSC European Cup in St. Polten, Austria. It's actually station number 3 out of 4 of international climbing events in the nation of Austria. The famous World Cup, of course, in front of thousands of people in the climbing city of Austria in Innsbruck. And we also had the Boulder Cup in Graz in Austria and Styria. Now we are here in St. Polten, and in a few weeks, the 4th and final edition here in Austria's international competitions will be hosted in Imst, close to Innsbruck as well. It means 4 big climbing events. This is the first time actually, Lisa, that we have a great event like this in Lower Austria in St. Polten. Are you already planning ahead for the next few years to keep on doing this here?
Well, kinda. At the moment it's really hard for us as organizers. It was a lot of stress for a couple of months, So we need maybe a week or two to kind of like relax and see what we could improve for us as organizers. And if we will be able to do it next year, we would love to. But we have to see.
It's a speed climbing wall that we've got here. So this is, of course, what is always possible. Will you, for example, be able to host European Youth World Championships or European Championships on that wall here?
That's a good question, actually.
Well, we can talk to the federation later on there here as well. And then we can talk about applications and so. No, we're just kidding a little bit, of course. Within the next few moments, the first two ones, here they already are, will be stepping out, and we are opening the men's speed qualification round. Italy versus France. It is going to be Marco Rontini against Jérôme Morel.
Okay, now we start with the qualification for the men.
You can see here on the Italian climber on the left side, he's still wearing his Crocs, so his climbing shoes stay perfectly dry.
Yes, it's actually more unusual for the speed climbers to come out without Crocs or any kind of shoes over their climbing shoes.
Just to give us an impression of what happened before with the French athlete that got disqualified already ahead of the race. When does a false start start?
If you
As soon as I hear the signal or when I leave the pad?
you have 0.1 seconds that you cannot go under to leave the pad. But leaving the pad means also having too little weight on it.
Oh, we got two speedy climbers up here, close to the 6-second mark. 5:55 for Rontini with one or two minor errors, but with a great time at the very end.
Yes. If the climbers have little mistakes in their runs while still being under 6 seconds, that means you can only imagine how fast they would be if they have a perfect run.
For Marco Rontini, 5:88 should be fine already for the final.
Yes.
6:02 probably as well. Let's see.
Let's see, my guess is at a maximum you gotta have 6.5.
Also up next, first Austrian out of 8 in this competition, Lukas Knapp against Marcin Ginski from Poland.
Ready?
Lucas is kind of known for his shoes with the pink heel.
Up we go. Poland first 5:65, 2 sub 6-second times. And a new best that we've seen so far from Marcin Ginski. He is known to be fast. Maybe also with this time he can make it in the small final, maybe not yet, but of course in the top 5 or 6. Next Austrian, already saw him yesterday, now in the third heat. Alexander Bergmann against Daniele Balestrazzi from Italy.
After a small mistake in the semifinals, Alex got 4th place then. Again, it was hard for him to recover because he did a false start there and lost out to bronze, so he's got to be hungry today. He knows it's possible.
You can always see this timing pad they are standing on here with the left leg. They can place this more or less wherever they want.
Yes.
Well, for the Austrians, they're cheering here, of course, but also Balestrazzi doing well. They are on time here, but no time for the Austrian. Oh, there you go.
You can hear the Austrians and the Italians both known for being loud.
That was heat number 3 on lane A and B. We're coming in here on lane A. Denis Haluhin, Ukraine, against Unach Uterga Flamarike from Spain. 15 meter is the length of the standardized wall.
Yes, the pad is actually at 15 meters and 70 centimeters. Exactly.
At your marks. Ready?
Is there a specific reason for 1577?
50-70. I wouldn't know it. It's also as this route wasn't intended to be standardized. There are already a couple of holds missing that were originally there. As you can see, hold 17, nobody uses it anymore for quite a long time actually. So I'm sure that one will fall out as well soonish, so you don't have to put it into the wall anymore. Probably also what will happen with the 9th hold. You can see it's also one where there's basically no chalk on it.
Mikołaj Wroblewski from Poland against Elias Unterberger, the Austrian number 3 out of 8 in this event. Good start here for the Polish, sure, but Unterberger just has to make his way through to go sub-7 maybe. No. Both athletes here not with the greatest run. They will need to have a fast second heat, otherwise they will be out.
Elias is holding his knee. It's also bandaged. It's been that way since yesterday. I hope it's just an abrasion for him. But he seems to walk fine, so should be okay.
Here we go. Here we continue with Ilya Yehokin, Ukraine, against Lukas Windischer, 4th Austrian in this competition.
Lukas was actually at one World Cup already this year in Krakow. And let's see if he comes close to his personal best.
Ready?
That he, I think, even set at this event.
No speed tramping is for fast times, not this time for Windischer. The Ukrainian will reach the top first, 6:31 and 6:99. 5:64 at the moment stays as the best time of one of the men in the speed competition here, set by Poland's Marcin Ginski. 5:64, 5:88 for Marco Rontini from Italy. Third place at the moment, Lukas Knapp from Austria, 5:90.60, only 3 times that went sub 6 seconds so far. Miguel Gomez Barrios from Spain and Alessandro Giorgiania, the next pair. It's heat number 7 out of 32 in the qualification. It's also interesting sometimes to see on what side
At your marks.
The lanyard is?
they're having the lanyard when they go up the wall.
Yes, as far as I know, it's
Ready?
behind the hand that buzzers. Usually, it's not always that way.
A very good start from the
So if
Spanish.
that is correct, they should.
But he caught up nicely, Giorgiani, and made the win here for him, 5:79. Probably a great time for him personally, because he says yes to himself, puts out that fist, and clocks in the second fastest time.
Could also be that it's not just the time itself, but him learning the wall. And I don't know on the top of my head how his practice runs went, so it might just be that.
But now we see Marius Baillet-Gaborio from France and Kevin Amon from Austria. As we've already mentioned, one of the few ones that ever made a speed climbing competition in sub 5 seconds, which kind of puts him in here into a position of the favorites. He's got probably a little bit of pressure on himself, but of course also the joy of maybe winning here in front of the home crowd. The Austrian on the right side. I'm sure that the audience is going to cheer up in a few seconds. Better start for the French, but Amon is now ahead, having a good race that goes to 5:58.
It's not a bad time, but it wasn't completely smooth. He wasn't able to accelerate at every single hold and foothold. But here you can see it's his passion. He's usually kind of smiles while running.
And he clocks in with the fastest time so far, 5:58 for the Austrian Kevin Amon. Now Marcin Ginski from Poland with 5:64 in the second place. Heat number 9, Maximilian Wagner from Austria and Linus Spada from Germany.
The next one's trying to hit that clock below 6 seconds.
Do we actually have an official wall record here in St. Polten? Do you know?
No, not yet.
Well, maybe on this weekend is the European Cup.
Probably this weekend.
A pretty
Small
good athletes.
hiccup for Maxi here, 6.7. Not great, but also not terrible. So
we're by far not through yet with the qualification. We've got heat number 10 out of 32 coming up. 6 more to go until every athlete at least had one chance of doing here an official qualification run. Up next, Oriol Codina Pineda against his Spanish teammate Alberto Garcia Rodriguez de Sepulveda that we already saw yesterday.
At your marks. Ready?
Here we go, only Sepulveda can make it to the top, and he's going to do it.
there. So if there's even like a small uncertainty in your mind, you're not under 6 seconds.
Codina Pineda with this time he will for sure not make it. 6:11 for Sepulveda. Well, could be a time where he can get through.
But also they both have another run, so they can make up for it.
Tobias Planger from Austria and Pierre Rebriand from France. Heat number 11 out of 32. The crowd's actually getting bigger here in front of the speed climbing wall in St. Polten, as some of the youth athletes are still here from yesterday, coming in here with the teams, staying here 2 or 3 nights before heading back home over to the next practices and competitions. Planger versus Rebriand. The Austrian making it through.
It's a good run for him.
His 5:76 puts him at the moment into the top 5 easily.
This was very necessary for Toby. He had a rough 2 seasons behind him. That is so good for the confidence to just be able to prove to yourself that you can do it.
Third place for him right now, as 2 Austrians are in the top 3. 5:58, the fastest time that we've seen so far in the qualification. Kevin Amon Maybe the favorite is leading here, 5:58. Marcin Cinski, 5:64. But we've got some pretty good athletes still coming up.
At your marks.
Dorian Zedler from Germany against Robert Zajac from Poland. Heat number 12. Polish struggles.
Zedler is actually not only an athlete, but he's studying computer science next to juggling the World Cup and such things, while also being involved in a company making like climbing technological equipment.
A multi-talent.
Yes, definitely. Here we have the winner of yesterday, Gilles Meili.
He also belongs to the favorites, of course, here to make it to a small, maybe a big final. But first things first, qualification is still on for the Swiss on the right side and for Mika Scherer from Germany on lane A on the left side. Heat number 13 out of 32.
Gilles is definitely a big one for a podium today. He already managed it almost in Mezzo Lombardo this year at the first competition, the first European Cup this season.
Ready?
And he's the second placed right now in the speed, but both are struggling.
Small slip. 6.9. Probably won't be enough. Mika Scherer also real big problems.
And as you can see, it's one big error and you're losing a lot of time.
Yes.
And the pressure is on you for your second and last chance in the qualification later on.
Also, it's the pressure in the run itself when you know you have done a mistake and you really want to rectify it. If you're not really strong in your head, in your mind, then this will lead to more mistakes and you're just getting more and more desperate.
Guillaume Moreau from France, Alessandro Boulos from Italy. They are in heat number 14 out of 16 before we are switching on the lanes.
At your marks.
670 so far to be in the top 16.
Yeah, so probably the 6.5 will be around the time that you need.
Here we go. We've got two new leaders. Moro with the fastest time of 4:50.46 and 4:55 for Boulos from Italy. That puts Amon, the Austrian, in the third place right now. Times are getting faster here at the European Speed Cup in St. Polten.
Here we have the last of the Austrian bunch. Lorenz Bogerstoffer on lane B.
And Alexander Dovan, one of the athletes from this big Ukrainian team that made it here to St. Polten, Austria. In heat number 15.
At your marks. Ready?
Bogerstoffer both are fighting a little bit. 6:58, 56. Settles in at least with a maybe sufficient time. Oh, not even one more. Sorry. 17th place now with 6:55. It's now down to a time of 6:31, where Ilya Yekorin from the Ukraine is currently positioned to make it at least to the top 16, and therefore to the final. Last pair is Oskar Zalewski from Poland against Andrin Zedler from Germany.
The younger brother of Dorian, yes.
Placed second, a third yesterday.
At your marks.
Third, yeah.
5.94 for him. Also one of those climbers who should be able to go sub 6 seconds, the German on the right side.
But Oscar as well, he's really fast as we can see right now. Oh, 6.0 for Andrin and 5.8 for Oscar.
That means the rankings 10 and 12 at the very moment. We are through with the climbers that everyone had one heat so far. That means the heats number 2, of course, will immediately start. So we're going into heats number 17 to 32, where every athlete has one more chance to go. 9th place, Trontini from Italy against Morel on the 13th place. And after this, there will be a small break before the finals are about to start at 1:15 in the afternoon. Starting with women.
Looking at the sky, I hope that the weather holds.
Ready?
Jerome Morel and Marco Trontini. Getting in faster times. Morel pushing his time with 1/1700 of a second. And also Trontini with a little bit of an enhancement. That means times are, of course, getting a little more dense here in the men's competition. We're getting close to the 6-second mark even to make it to a final. Someone mentioning yesterday, Lisa, it's not such a fast wall. Actually, today it seems like it is a fast wall.
Yes, it depends on how adaptable you are, really. You gotta know these little things on it to be really successful.
At your marks.
Kevin once said, for example, that for the Tomoa skip, you can rely on the wall, but you gotta shift your weight on your foot a little.
Lukas Knapp on the right side, the Austrian Masinczynski. He's already through, but Knapp, this is gonna be for him the 17th place. That means the Austrian here on the right side is already...
No, he's 12.
Oh no, he already had 5.96, sorry.
So this run was worse than his first. Also looking from the view from above, not exactly happy with this run, of course. He knows he can do better.
You can see Balestrazzi is in 16th,
Yes.
but Bergman needs a clear, better run as of right now.
It is possible for him, definitely.
6.22. Theoretically, just needs to be a little faster than 6.22. And the gentleman on his left side, because that's where you want to go, top 16.
Yes.
Ready?
Goes down low.
And it's over for him.
But not for Balestrazzi. He needs a fight and he needs sub 6.
Yes. Alex realized
5.94.
that the time that he has now won't cut it, so he left it at that. I'm not sure what happened, but probably a bit too much rotation and then you're done.
Balestrazzi with 5.94, a clear enhancement of his time that puts him in the 12th position right now.
And should theoretically be in. Let's see what the other guys can do.
So all of them that are coming up that we're seeing in the next heats, they're a little under pressure. Also Unas Uterga Flamarica from Spain, as well as Denis Alyuhin from Ukraine, both not yet qualified for the top 16. 6.14 now is the standard.
Oh no, The Ukrainian kind of like
Whoa.
blocked himself a bit with the lanyard on the Tomoa skip.
But Utelga Flamarica from Spain clocks in with 573.
Yes.
That
So
means
that puts him wide in the front, no?
Online A from Austria,
Yes, fifth.
Online B from Poland.
fifth place for the Spain, and 6:11 now. That is necessary in order to qualify for the top 16. Elias Unterberger, the Austrian, against Mikolaj Wroblewski from Poland, 29th against the 28th. They will need to take risk now.
Yeah, definitely. It's all or nothing, usually for the men. But
At your marks.
at this position in your second run, you just... I don't want to say it's more than all or
Ready?
nothing, but
Better start for the Polish. The Polish can still make it to the final.
yes,
577.
but for the 17-year-old, sadly that was it.
Now we see Online A from Austria, Windischer Lukas, and Online B
Next
from
Austrian
Ukraine.
coming out here for his second try, Lukas Windischer, against Ilya Yehorkin from Ukraine.
20th and 26th place for them at the moment.
And 6:02 now for the top 16, since usually one takes too much risk, and with the other one the risk is going out well, as we just saw a few moments ago. 6:02 now for the top 16. This is where Andrin Zedler from Germany is at the moment. For the first place, Guillaume Moreau, 5:46.
Ready?
Yeah, the Austrian needs to take risk. Come on. And here we go, 6:11. It's the 17th or 18th place. That means also no final this time for Lukas Windischer.
It looked good.
In the next heat, Online A
It was a
from
clean run,
Italy,
but sadly not enough.
Online B from
Just
Spain,
tempo.
Gomez Barrios Miguel.
Not enough acceleration happening. I don't know, maybe he's tired from yesterday. With the big delay, it was a real hard competition.
Heat 23 out of 32, Alessandro Giorgiani from Italy and Miguel Gomez Barrios from Spain. Both should be through with their time so far. 4:79 for Giorgiani, the Italian on the left side, and Gomez Barrios 5:84.
There's a small chance that we actually will see those two running against each other in the finals, as they're 8th and 9th.
At your
But
marks.
more or less for sure, if you both make it up on top now, it should be a very tight race again.
Yes.
Heat number 23 out of 32 in the qualification.
Good reaction from both of them, kind of at least.
But they both already knew around midway that it's over with an enhancement of their time, but still they are through. Let's
Should be
see.
at least.
There's a good chance that they're gonna truly see each other in the final, in the first final in the top 16 round. But only one later on will be able to advance to the top 8 for our big final. Here we go with our next round. Kevin Amon, the Austrian, was leading for a small amount of time in the first few heats. Now he's still in third position, the Austrian on the left side. 5:58 his best time today. And his opponent, Payet Gaboriot from France, 5:87. That's the 11th place as of right now. .546, the fastest time that we've seen today. The French athlete Guillaume Moreau, the Austrian, third place as of right now.
Ready?
Both get a good start. The Austrian doing very well.
Small hiccup.
This is the best time so far, 5:38. We got a new leader. He had a great run, way better it looked than the first one.
But if you can see the small, when he was going on to the 16th hole, you can see that he couldn't accelerate from the beginning quite as well as from the other holes. And that's the small difference that lets you go under 5.
Now we'll see what we're going to have. Maybe there will be a little bit of a surprise today in the final.
For example, Guillaume versus Kevin could be a very good matchup to watch out for. Also, Linus Bader, a athlete that definitely can be up there.
Ready?
6:02 for the top 16. This is a place where Wagner and Wagner are both not yet.
Could be close. No.
Both of them are unfortunately out. I'm gonna stay in the 19th for the German and the 21st place for the Austrian. The top 16 are within around 0.8 seconds only. It's a little bit more than a blink of an eye, but this is truly what speed climbing is about. So let's see what these Spanish athletes can do. Still not qualified, unfortunately. Alberto Garcia Rodriguez de Sepulveda just by 1 place, and Oriol Cordina Pinheiro, both from Spain, coming up next to take away maybe Andrin Sedler's spot from Germany. 6:02 to qualify for the top 16 final.
Ready?
Cordina Pinheiro goes fast, also Sepulveda. Oh.
Big mishap, 5.8.
For Garcia Rodriguez de Sepulveda, it will be enough. Going in here with this time, 9th place at the very moment. For Cordina Pinheiro, nope. That was it as of today. We got 6 more heats coming up. From 27 to heat number 32. Pierre Rebriand from France and Tobias Langer from Austria. Rebriand needs to catch up a little bit. Langer with his 6th place and 5:76 in the first heat of his already will advance, but maybe with an even faster time.
Yes, he will definitely try. Fingers crossed for him.
At your marks. Ready?
Well, the French is taking all the risk here.
Bit slow, but still sub 6 for Toby. And of course, the 5.4.
5:46 for Rebriand. 3rd place he goes. Same time as his teammate Guillaume Moreau. 5:46 as well. Still Kevin Amon, the Austrian, stays in the lead. 5:38.
Let's see what Robert and Dorian can do against that.
Robert Sayats from Poland. Dorian Sedler from Germany. 5:94 now to qualify for the top 16. So we went sub 6 seconds. Daniele Balestrazzi is actually placed there right now at the final spot at the hot seat of the top 16. 5:94 for the final.
Ready?
And for Lukas Knapp, it's already done. He also is sub 6, but is on the 17th place. Both big trouble here, so competition's over for them. As sad as it is.
Another new finalist that we see here. 32 are competing. Only 50% of them will advance to the round of the top 16 in the 8 finals.
Now we will see Gilles Miley and Mika Scherer. Gilles is an absolute competition person.
He did not have the greatest run in the heats. Also not in the practice, as I remember seeing him.
Yes, but the more is on the line for him, the faster he gets. I talked yesterday with this coach. He loves the pressure and needs it.
We shall see. Yesterday he won the under-19 men's final with a time of 5:64. And even in the semifinals, 5:33.
5:33 was incredibly close to his PB of 5:27.
See how he can deal with the pressure right now. Looks smooth for the Swiss, maybe with a new fastest time of 68.
Not quite, but might be the fastest of the under-19 competitors.
6th place as of right now for him. Scherer with the 31st place is of course out here of this race. So we got 3 more heats to go. Alessandro Poulos from Italy and Guillaume Moreau, the 2nd placed with his best run so far, holding a time of 5:46. Fast French guy on the right side here, doing his own thing ahead of the race.
Like I said yesterday, everyone has their own little routine that they do. Some are kind of like slapping the holds.
Probably the fastest couple that we see here in the heats later on, as it gets more fast, of course, as well. The 2nd against the 4th place right now.
Let's see what happens now.
Ready?
Looking good so far, smooth.
5:48 for both of them, only separated by
3 thousandths.
almost nothing, we can also say, but
Blink
for
of an
Poulos, both stay in the same position on the 2nd and in the 4th place. Top placed anyways, and we got 2 more heats coming up. As we're going to see Lorenz Bogestorfer from Austria and Alexander Dauphin from Ukraine. Now still, the top 16 time to make it to the final is 5:89. Within almost half a second, we have 16 athletes.
Yes, we already had World Cups where the first 5 to 10 guys were just separated by sometimes even just 1 or 2 tenths of a time. For 10 people, that is so crazy.
All out for both of them, and the risk did not pay off. Both of them are out of competition, even though Dauphin still tries to finish.
Yeah, the Ukrainian uses the run kind of like as a trainings run, so he has at least 1 more.
So we can focus on our last couple before the qualification here will be over, and we're going into a break until 1:10 in the afternoon. Andrin Zedler from Germany against Oskar Zalewski from Poland. The 19th against the 16th, which makes it pretty easy to determine. 5:89 or faster for the German, then he can kick out his Polish opponent if the Polish is not getting any faster. That's a pretty nice story actually for a last heat in the speed qualification men.
Andrin 3rd place yesterday in the under-19 category. He definitely has it in him, and if he doesn't kick out Oskar, if he improves himself, then probably evens, well, surely someone else. That'd be
5:89 for the final. He still has a chance, the German. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. It's there. Nice. 586 for the German. He makes it actually
14th?
to the 14th place, and therefore kicks out Oskar Zalecki from Poland. Of course, that falls a little bit off his heart. Some positive feeling for him. And the qualification for him with 5:48 for the top 16. Well, we've got an Austrian, though, at the very end of the day as a winner of the qualification. Kevin Amon, 5:38. Guillaume Moreau, 5:48. And we've got with 5:46 as well Pierre Breillon, Alessandro Boulos, 5:48. Marcin Ginski, 5:64. Gilles Millet, 5:68. For the top 10, still Alessandro Giorgiani, 5:79. And if we have a look on the other side of the page, the top 16, now Marco Rontini, 5:88 was the time at the end of the day to qualify for the final for the top 16.
In the background we can hear the small speedies, the under 15 girls cheering on our cleaners. Well, not anymore, but when you were talking.
32 are through. We're through with the women's qualification and with the men's qualification. Now we've got almost lunchtime. We're going to go into an around 50-minute break. We will be back at 10 minutes after 1, because then the final of the Women's Speed European Cup will start at 1:15. This is exactly in 50 minutes, so stay tuned with us, or just have a look in the meantime at the IFSC website or at the social media program, the Instagram channel of the IFSC here. We will be back in around 45 minutes here with the finals.
Si el ritmo te lleva a mover la cabeza, ya empezamos como es. Mi música no discrimina a nadie, así que vamos a romper. Toda mi gente se mueve, mira el ritmo como los tiene. Hago música que entretiene. El mundo nos quiere, me quiere a mí. Toda mi gente se mueve, mira el ritmo como los tiene. Hago música que entretiene. Mi música los tiene fuerte bailando y se baila así. Wrist looking like it been dipping. Script looking like it been flipping. Pull up in that for my car. Please say it ain't true. I think one cop too well. Now we can't fit that. hopped up on my whip. Yellow and the purple no mix. Got my bitch from the tropics. Taking shots, one bottle at the bottle at the bottle. Hell no, yeah, sipping that. Wild ones, let me fresh out the cage. Showtime, baby, fresh off the stage. Bad little mama, fresh off the page. Feel like you know, but you know that you hate it. Yeah, you know no better. Yeah, you know no better. Yeah, you know no better.
Yeah, you know no better. Say you're different when you're kidding. Yeah, you know no better. Ooh, say that talk for the ones who don't know no better. Cause maybe I know you better.
Maybe I know no better.
Maybe I know you better. Maybe I know you better. Maybe I know you better. Maybe I know you better.
No limit in the sky that I won't fly for you. No amount of tears in my eyes that I won't cry for you. Oh no, with every breath that I take, I want you to share that air with me. There's no promise that I won't keep. I'll climb a mountain that's none too steep. When it comes to you, there's no crime. Let's take both of our souls and intertwine. When it comes to you, don't be blind. Watch me speak from my heart when it comes to you. Oh yeah. When it comes to you, there's no crime. Let's take both of our souls and intertwine. When it comes to you, don't love. I need the rush. I had to ask myself. I've been doing the wrong thing. I've been doing it all wrong. If I'm doing the wrong thing, I've been doing it all wrong. If I'm doing the wrong thing, I've been doing it all wrong. If I'm doing the wrong thing, why does it feel so wrong?
Hot in a heartbeat. Yeah. Woo.
Si el ritmo te lleva a mover la cabeza, ya empezamos como es. Mi música no discrimina a nadie, así que vamos a romper. Toda mi gente se mueve. Mira el ritmo como los tiene. Hago música que entretiene. El mundo nos quiere, me quiere a mí. Toda mi gente se mueve. Mira el ritmo como los tiene. Hago música que entretiene. Mi música los tiene fuerte bailando y se baila así.
La fiesta no para, apenas comienza. C'est comme ça, ma chérie. La 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 la. Francia, Colombia, me gusta. Freeze. J Balvin, Willy William, me gusta. Freeze. Los DJ no mienten, le gusta a mi gente y eso se fue muy. Freeze. No le bajamos, mas nunca paramos, es otro palo y blanco. ¿Y dónde está mi gente? Que pueda escuchar la gente. ¿Y dónde está mi gente? Say yeah, yeah, yeah.
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay.
Well,
Yes.
we are a few minutes ahead of the beginning of the finals here. Just a few moments, we are away of the final here in St. Polten at the European Speed Cup in climbing. This is the big, beautiful wall that we want to conquer at the fastest time possible. We already had 32 men in the prelims. We had 18 women. Now it's down to the top 16 here at our speeds bracket for these top 16. Now no more 2 heats for every round, it's only 1. And these are the pairs that you see here on the left on the A lane, and on the right route the B lane. Leslie Adriano Romes Perez, she will be in the first heat. She was the fastest in the heats in the qualification with a time of 7.12 seconds. She will face Sofia Dulczynska in a few moments. The only Austrian that is still here in this competition is Johanna Nagel. She will face Magdalena Blachnicka, and then we'll have a total of 8 heats here in the women's 16 race, and then we're going to advance to the men's with the same procedure. Yeah, quarterfinal, of course, the same procedure as well, only 1 race against each other, and the winner, of course, advances to the next round, to the quarterfinals, to the semifinals, to the big final, and for those who are gonna get kicked out at the semifinals, there will be the small final, respective the final for the 3rd and the 4th place. And also with these upcoming finals, the whole tour here on the weekend in St. Polten is coming almost to an end with the brightest weather that we've had so far. So Lisa, just organizational wise, I guess you're pretty satisfied still with the weekend.
Yeah, we only had that, big delay where suddenly the weather just decided to mess with the competition, but we were pretty much prepared for that, and everything else went really smoothly so far.
Well, one of the things, of course, you can never change, but of course it plays a big role in speed climbing especially. Going through the way here again. Well, 7.12 seconds was the fastest time that we saw in the women's qualification. Not too far away, actually, from a time of going sub 7 seconds. It's going to be the final rounds right now. The best of the best, the top 4, will still have 3 runs in total left. So maybe they can advance to even faster times. The rounds with the top 16, first of all with the women, followed by the men, then quarterfinal women, followed by men, quarterfinal, semifinal women, followed by the men's semifinal, and then both the small and the big finales. This is more or less how the upcoming around 60 to 90 minutes will look like, with, I guess, only minor breaks in between the quarterfinal, semifinal, and so on.
Yes. So usually around the small finale we have a bit more breaks because the athletes need at least 5 minutes between their runs. But we also have, before the semifinals, a small presentation of our semi-finalists.
Well, and that is pretty good, of course, to get even the best of the bests more in. Well, we talked about one of the women's favorites, the actually leading in the European Cup standings, Epat Capucin Viglione. She was disqualified with a false start in her first heat and with, not a very great performance in her second heat. Unfortunately, also this can happen. Coming here with the, of course, efforts and will to win, but going home with 0 points in her pocket. If we have a look at the women's ranking in the Speed European Cup, this might actually change something. In case Leslie Adriana Romero Perez, the current leader after the qualification, will win today, and some of the others don't make too many big points, she might take the lead from Capucin Viglione. We shall see. Once again, this is the bracket of the top 16. Further information before we are about to start here, you can go to the IFSC website or to go to austriaclimbing.com. This is the website of the Austrian Federation. Well, here they are stepping out for the speed top 16 final. Leslie Adriana Romeros Perez from Spain and Sofia Tulchinska from the Ukraine. The one who reaches the top first, who hits the buzzer first, will automatically advance to the quarterfinals.
Or if we don't hope, someone does a false start, the other one gets a wild card and immediately advances. They are not allowed to do their run anymore, but they can if it happens in the big finale.
Well, the Spain is the favorite. More or less, she already is through, and now it's for sure 7.27 seconds. A little bit over her time from the qualification, but still by far enough to advance.
Yeah, I think she paced a little because she knew, according to the times, you know the other people, so she didn't go full risk and just tried to safely take it home.
And of course to save some energy, because the further you go in this competition, the tougher the competitors will be, of course, as well. Well, and Johanna Nagel is the only Austrian hope so far. Her opponent is from Poland, Magdalena Blachnicka. Heat number 2 out of 8 heats in the women's round of the top 16.
And whoever wins this round in this battle will come to Romero Perez in the next round.
Will this be one of the best days of your life? Better be good.
At your marks.
Here we go. Second heat out of 8. Round of the top 16.
Ready?
The Polish gets a little better start. But it's an even race, almost until the end here. Blachnicka makes it.
Almost.
Magdalena Blachnicka advances to the quarterfinal. Johanna Nagel, the Austrian, is out here in the round of 16.
So close.
Heat number 3 out of 8. In our first final round, Polina Kalkiewicz, the second Ukrainian that we're seeing here, against Leire Ruiz de Argoronia Otano.
At your marks. Ready?
Way better start. Well, reaction time by the Spaniard, but with big troubles, she finishes second.
So Polina Kalkiewicz from the Ukraine is the first from her country to advance to the quarterfinals. Well, sometimes, talking about speed climbing, it's actually been a competition within the European Championships since 1992, on a global level at World Championships already since 1991. And Austria, as the organizing country here, has never actually won a global medal in a speed competition, neither in Europeans nor in World Championships, but in all the others.
Yes.
The Federation said the focus has been on the speed events just for the last few years. Now, of course, it takes its time until some global medals might even be able to be produced. But we've got a few hopes from the Austrian side, especially later on in the men's competition. Coming up next, Daria Takova from Ukraine and Alessia Luli from Italy.
At your marks. Ready?
Takova out with 788. She's got to softly climb up, and that should be it for her for the quarterfinals, even though she is struggling a bit.
Yes.
But she's the second Ukrainian to advance with the fastest time of hers today, 8:17. Therefore, we are through with the first 4 heats. Halftime in this round of the 16th in the women's speed brackets. Coming up are 4 more heats with French, Italian, Polish, Spanish and Ukrainian climbers. Louise Fontaine and Eva Mengoli. There's Fontaine here. It's probably the favorites. As her teammates, as we've mentioned a few times before, Capucine Viglione, the current leader in the European Speed Cup standings, is out already in the qualification.
Let's see how Eva's Tomola skip will pan out
At your marks.
this time. She had big troubles here during this comp with it.
Ready?
The favorite is on the left side with a better start for Fontaine. Even though the Italian gets it okay. 760, 763 for Louise Fontaine puts her in the lead and therefore also into the quarterfinal. This was the race between the second and the 15th placed after the qualification. Now we're coming on to Manon Lebon against Nathalie Bibro, the 7th and the 10th after the qualification round. 007. What a great reference.
At your marks.
Heat number 6 out of 8. Before we immediately also gonna continue with the men's
Ready?
round of 16. Could be a tight race between those two now. Le Bon ahead, just has to make it through to the buzzer, hits it 768. For the second time in a row, a French athlete that advances to the quarterfinal and will face each other later on, actually. Louise Fontaine.
Fourth time that the athlete on lane A won their battle, so the favorites can play their cards.
Would actually be, I think, a bit of a difference if the sun is coming in from a side and one lane would be in the sun and the other one is not.
Well, in
Happens.
that case, I think you would try to organize it around
A time.
in a way where that wouldn't happen. You try to get it as even as possible.
And this is, of course, the importance, but also the difficulty of speed climbing. As it's T1, where two athletes are competing right next to each other at the same time, and the only faster one who is up there gets the win and gets to go to the next round. Carla Martinez Vidal from Spain, Ariana Mortarino from Italy. The third fastest is the Spanish. She's the favorite. The Italian is already out. She can smoothly go through. 8:12. Well, not too fast, but she didn't need any more of these.
Yeah, you could see where she started to pace a little at least.
And whoever is going to win the next race is going to compete against her in the quarterfinal against Carla Martinez Vidal, who wins this heat now. And here we're going into a final heat in the women's final of the top 16. Ksenia Horielova from Ukraine in the black jersey against the white jersey. That is Karolina Ptak from Poland.
So this is a under 19 battle now. Ksenia is 18 years old and is the winner of yesterday's qualification, while Carolina is 17 and made bronze yesterday.
Third place, Horielova though, with the sixth fastest time in the qualification. Tak, the Polish, with the 11th fastest time, gets the way better start. But the Ukrainian dances through here up to the sky, hits the clock buzzer, 8:35. The Ukrainian is through. 3 Ukrainians actually advance to the quarterfinal. They got a good climbing team.
Yeah, especially speed climbing. But
Is-
I have seen some lead and or bouldering athletes coming onto the big stage as well.
Is this something that federations focus on specifically, only on one discipline in climbing?
Usually not, but you do have federations that are more traditional with their focus in the sense of lead and bouldering, and federations who set a bit more of a focus onto the new discipline of speed climbing.
Here we go with one of the favorites, qualification winner Kevin Amon from Austria. His personal best is set on 4:98 seconds. And he was the fastest here, as I already mentioned, in the qualification with a time of 5:33. Now his opponent is Italian Marco Rontini.
Those guys know each other quite well. They were born in the same year, so since they've started this discipline, they were always together in the international comps.
At your marks.
It's the third out of 4 speed climbing European Cups this year, as one was cancelled. The Austrian on the left side is the favorite, the 3-time national speed climbing champion. He doesn't need to go all out. He's taking a little break already.
Yeah, you see the pace. Actually, that would have been, if he didn't pace, if Rontini didn't fall, it would have been an amazing time.
He had the first 2-3 great movements. Other than that, of course, he saved some energy. Now up for his quarterfinal, as this one probably was an easy thing for Kevin Amon to advance to the quarterfinals. Coming up next, heat 2 out of 8 in the men's speed. Tobias Planger from Austria against Mikołaj Wróblewski from Poland.
Let's see if we have an Austrian matchup in the next round. I'm not sure if I should hope so or not, but of course we wish all the best to Toby now. Fingers crossed.
According to the qualification results, Planger 8th in the qualification, Wróblewski 9th in the qualification. They were just off by 100ths of a second, so I guess it's going to be a very tight race now to advance to the quarterfinals.
Ready?
Way better
False
start.
start by Toby.
Yeah, and I think we could see this. It looked too good to be true, which means he's out and Morel will get the wild card.
And the race goes to Poland.
Mikołaj Wróblewski advances and will face Kevin Amon from Austria in the next round. Alessandro Boulos in heat number 3 against Jérôme Morel, the 4th place against the 13th place. But fact is also the top 16 in the men's after the qualification were just in between exactly 0.5 seconds. So a lot can still happen. Somebody is, for example, giving us the performance of his life, getting in a new personal best, they can of course advance to the semifinals. We shall see, we shall see.
For example, one
At your
that,
marks.
that we will see later, Jules Miley, one of the, if not the youngest in this final,
Ready?
who showed up big today in the qualifications.
Oh. And it could be that what happens now to Jérôme Morel is the same thing that happened also to his female teammate before, to Capucine. And now it's down to the referees and officials to make a decision once again. If this was a false start, then Boulos, the Italian, would be through to the next round. But they're checking in between.
Yeah, you can see the cameras that are two are looking at the pads.
Yeah, and he is out of the race. That means same thing happens to Capucine Villone. That also happens to Morel. While the signal already started, he left the pad with the foot just by a tiny margin.
Yes.
A little hop and that's it.
Yes.
Boulos advances also with a wild card to the next round and will face the winner of the next heat, either from Poland, Marcin Dziński, very strong performance, 5th place in the qualification, against Miguel Gomez Barrios from Spain. It is little bouncy bounce at the very beginning. This can take away so many points. Can't disappoint you. You're coming here and could not even do one competition climb.
Yes, you already have so little attempts in one competition, and then
Ready?
if it comes to a false start, when as an athlete you hear that signal, the only thing that's going on in your brain is like, oh no, please be not me.
Dziński hits the second best time as of today in total and wins this only by a small margin ahead of Miguel Gomez Barrios. But now the Polish athlete is through, will face Alessandro Boulos in the next round. That was already peak speed climbing. Very, very tight races.
Yes.
And here we continue with the second half of the top 16 round.
And the French meetup.
Guillaume Moreau and Marius Paré-Gaboriot, the second against the 15th place. The favorite, Guillaume Moreau, on the left side, he clocked in with 5:46 in the qualification after 2 heats. The better time is the one that counts in speed climbing, but only one possible heat in the KO systems.
But like I said yesterday, the only thing that is for sure in speed climbing, that there is nothing for sure, as we've seen with Capucine and Jérôme.
Ready?
And the likes.
It's quite nice they're taking risks. That was a fast start of Paré-Gaboriot, but now Moreau is already ahead. That was gonna be a fast time. 5:47. They are in shape right now, ladies and gentlemen.
You also have different athletes. Some are faster at the start in the first half. Some are better in the second half, which you have now clearly seen with those two.
Moreau is through with 5:47. 100th of a second only off by his performance in the qualification, and 100th of a second behind Marcin Dziński, who just won the race ahead of him. Who's going to face Moreau? We shall see in heat number 6. The winner will advance to the quarterfinal against Guillaume Moreau. Here we see Unas Uterga Flammarica from Spain and Alessandro Giorgiani from Italy, the 7th and the 10th placed after the qualification heats. focus is on. You can see there is more tension now within the athletes also here in the area than it was in the qualification. Sure, it's a final round, the top 16. In heat number 6, Italian Giorgianini with the arrow. Uterga Flamarita takes over and hits first. Just 200ths of a second. This Spain is ahead.
The Italian is pissed. Or rather frustrated, probably. His practice runs already. He struggled a lot. It looked better in the qualifications. Now he had to struggle again.
But still a good race of both.
Of course.
At least to advance here with a time of 5:95 by Uterga Flamarike. 2 more heats to come in the round of the top 16 after the men's qualification. After this tiny minor break before the women's quarterfinal continue. Pierre Rebriand from France and Andrin Zedler from Germany, the third and the 14th placed after the qualification. The favorite is also here on lane A.
Also, fun fact, in these 2 heats, 4 athletes, 3 of them are actually from the under-19 category, and all did start in the finals yesterday.
They know here the wall, but are they still fast enough to maybe get very top? 4:48 here, Rebriand gets a good time in, just 200ths of a second off of his qualification time, and now they're getting back, of course, into pretty good shape.
Andren was a little bit behind, but also slipped on that last, foot on the wall.
Then we see Gilles Millet. Today at practice, he was wearing his sunshades. He was not wearing them in qualification. Now he's got them back on. And his opponent is Roberto Garcia Rodriguez de Sepulveda, who finally made it to the top 16 as well. The 6th fastest time it was for Swiss athlete Gilles Millet in the qualification, 5:68. Yesterday, he won the under-19 with a time of 5:64, but he can do better.
Yes, he showed in the small final where he had a time of 5:33, almost his personal best, which sits at 5:27.
And I think he's the only one to climb with shades right now, with glasses.
Well, it depends on what you're used to.
It was a smooth run. Gonna be
Yes.
5:60. He's gonna face Pierre Rebriand, who just clocked in right ahead of him with 5:48.
But it's a time he can do. And again, athlete who needs the pressure.
Fastest time that we have seen in the round of 16 was by Marcin Dziński from Poland, 5:46. The slowest one to qualify by time, 5:95. Unash Arteaga Flamirke, and 2 wildcards go to Mikolaj Wrobelski and Alessandro Bulos from Italy. Well, there we go. We continue with
The women.
with the quarterfinals, the round of the top 8. That means, gonna see here Leslie Adriano Romero Perez and Magdalena Blarnicka. Polina Kalievich from Ukraine against her teammate Daria Takova, Louise Fontaine and Manon Lebon from France, and Carla Martinez Vidal and Ksenia Horielova from Ukraine. 3 Ukrainians, 2 French, 1 Spanish, Polish. This is what we're gonna see here. This is the full bracket. The winner of the respective quarterfinals immediately go to the semifinals. The 2 losers of the semifinal go into the small final as the battle for the 3rd place, and the winners of the semifinal go to the final to fight for the win and the 2nd place here at the IFC European Cup in Speed in St. Polten, Austria.
Battling against your teammate is always at least a little bit of a heartbreak. Actually, in the youth national championship, we had teammates battling each other, where afterwards one cried because she won and one cried because she lost, and they were kind of like consoling each other.
Oh, what a sweet story. Yeah, tears crying. We already saw, for those who just switched in here, once again, good afternoon from Austria. It's August 17th, 2025. We are at the IFSC European Cup in speed climbing, live from St. Polten, Austria, located around 60 kilometers west of Austria's capital, Vienna. Romero Perez, yeah, can walk through.
There.
Gets her job done. 7:24 to go through here.
But in the finals, it's crucial that you still keep going, even if you're basically at the start and your opponent is on top. Anything can happen. They can miss the pad, they can touch it too lightly, they can slip. Never give up.
Both Ukrainians are now facing each other. Polina Kalkiewicz on the left side, 8:21 in her round of the 16th, and Daria Takova, 8:17 in her heat in the round of the top 16.
Polina also won the under 19 yesterday.
$7:55 her time yesterday.
At your marks.
There's way more that she's already proven to us that she can or should be able to do.
But she's against Daria, who is a routinier. So let's see who makes it. It's a close race.
Oy.
Daria, little too low with her foot.
Kalkiewicz is through. 7:58 and is facing Leslie Adriana Romero Perez in her semi-final later on.
Her PP sits at 7.50, so we will see if she can beat that today.
Louise Fontaine from France in a national duel against Manon Lebon. 7:63, 7:68. Just a few minutes ago in the round of 16. Now they're facing each other in the women's quarterfinal to save a spot for a semifinal in which Carla Martinez Vidal or Ksenia Khorielova are going to be awaiting the winner of this heat.
Ready?
Pressure against the wall. Le Bon falls away. Fontaine makes
Can
it.
keep up a bit, but 7.51 for Louise.
Lane A makes it again here. Louise Fontaine, the second fastest after the qualification, gets the penultimate spot for the semi-final. Only one more to go. Carla Martinez Vidal and Ksenia Khorielova, as the two French athletes, are leaving the stage for right now. Men are already doing the warm-up in the background as they are the next ones to come in here for the quarterfinals. Martinez Vidal from Spain in the red jersey, left side lane A, lane B for the black jersey of Ksenia Khorielova, Ukraine.
Let's see if we have two Spaniards or two
At
Ukrainians
your marks.
in the semifinals.
Ready?
The Spaniard is through. If she already knows it, what's going on behind her? Even though she struggles to go up there, her time is faster than before. 7:7.9 for Carla Martinez Vidal, who's completing the 4 top ladies in this competition. She's going to face later on Louise Fontaine in the semifinal 2 and semifinal 1. Leslie Adriana Romero Perez and Polina Kalkiewicz. Fastest time was still 7:21 of the Spaniards. Second fastest that we saw here from Fontaine. 7:51, 7:58 for Kalkiewicz and 7:79 from Carla Martinez. Here we go, no time to wait for the men's competition. Kevin Amon, the Austrian, 5:71 for him. In the round of 16th, he's won already the qualification. He has won his round of 16 heats. Now, of course, he wants to advance to the next round.
Now it's gonna get loud again. Kevin is actually a lower Austrian, right, like about 10 kilometers away from St. Polten. So
his Herzogenburg fans might be here.
They are here.
Well, there we go. Mikołaj Wróbelski from Poland received a wild card in his round of 16 heat, which means he could save a little bit of energy at least, and is now facing the top Austrian.
But it's also a thin line between saving energy and having too much break.
Ready?
Winning on home soil is all he wants, Kevin Amon. The Polish is there! Close race, he's out! No! What's happening here? They were both under immense pressure. You could see that. Both were failing 2 or 3 times, but nobody fell down. He's like, what's going on here? What the F, he was saying.
This is a race that you only see in the men's category.
And he is lucky, the Austrian, to be away. 2 times he slipped away on his left leg. Missed here with the left hand, the last hold, but still makes it through. Only with a time of 7:88, but this does not count, as also Mikołaj Wróbelski did not perform at all. Lucky for the Austrian. He can continue the competition. This is speed climbing, come on.
Yes.
Alessandro Bulos, the 4th fastest out of the qualification, also made it here with a wild card against Marcin Cinski, the Polish. I actually liked his performances, pretty good times, smooth heats, almost no technical mistakes yet, as we have already seen them by the other ones. Let's see what the favorite here on the right side, the Polish athlete, is able to perform.
And let's hope we didn't jinx anything.
Because they also should be at the same level. 5-7, 5-4-7 for Cinski. Cinski, 5:47. Is gonna face Kevin Amon. And that's gonna be from now on only close races here. The Austrian is in the semi-final. Cinski already is as well. We've got 2 more spots. Guillaume Moro from France on the left side, and Unas Uterga Flamarique from Spain on the other one. Now, the French athlete in the blue jersey is the clear favorite. Has the way better personal best. Had the way better qualification. And here we go, quarterfinal, 3 out of 4.
At your marks.
Time does not count. Just the one who is up first here hits the buzzer will advance to the semifinals.
As we've seen with Kevin against Marcin.
Moro knows it. It's going around 85% or something, 568. Take him to the semifinal. Guillaume Moreau from France, 568. Smooth run. The Spanish is out here by fall. And our final heat in the men's quarterfinal will also determine who is coming as the fourth and last spot into the semifinal. Either Pierre Rebrion, 548 in his round of 16 heat, the third he was in the qualification, or yesterday's winner Gilles Millet, who has shown pretty good performances today, but not a one like he showed yesterday in the semifinal, where he performed a time of 5:33. It was 5:60 just minutes ago for the Swiss athletes in the round of 16.
At your marks. Ready?
Close race. Rebrion still ahead. Millet needs a first buzzer. No. Rebrion is through, and Millet did not touch the buzzer. Therefore, no time for the Swiss athletes. And the fastest time, 7:42. 5:42. I'm sorry. The second fastest time that we have seen in total today. Pierre Rebrion
kind of slipped away on that last foothold, and then his impulse got redirected from upwards to away from the wall, and then it was over.
The Austrian Kevin Amon advances in a tragic race against Wrobelski. The Austrian is through. A Polish athlete with Marcin Ginski is through, and two French athletes, namely Guillaume Moreau and Pierre Rebrion, the fastest one here in the quarterfinal, is also through. This it was, first of all, with the quarterfinals, both in the men's and in the women's competitions. We know the four finalists for the semifinals in the men's and as well in the women's race.
And we will see them again now. Because now we have the presentation of the semi-finalists. And so that everyone, they come out, everyone gets, even from the moderation on site, they get named, and they show themselves, and then they go back behind the wall to prepare for the first to last run of the day.
This is the bracket since the round of 16, the quarterfinals, and in a few moments, race for the top places here. Well, we've got, I think, a clear favorite, at least in the women's field, with Spanish Leslie Adriana Romero Perez, but not in the men's race so far, as we could see, very, very tied up times. Well, thank you very much actually for joining us here at the IFC European Cup in climbing in the speed discipline, Lisa. We're live here in St. Polten, and at least we can say one thing in comparison to yesterday, the weather today is pretty great.
Yeah, let's hope it stays that way. Fingers are crossed.
We have around 250 to 300 people that are joining us here at this beautiful competition. It is actually held in the Olympic Training Center here in St. Polten. And of course, everybody is thankful that this competition is held here as well. In case you got any questions or want to know anything, then of course you can always go to the IFSC website or go to the website of the Austrian Climbing Federation. tiny rainy break. It will the maximum be until the 4 top athletes of every category will be presented here to the audience, and then we can go on with the semifinals, the small and the big final for the win here. It's around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and everybody is of course ready here with the finals that we can do here today on time as yesterday. A thunderstorm, a pretty big one, was actually coming up. So the organizers were forced to take an around 2-hour break before the final in the under 19 category could finish. In the under 17 category yesterday, the competition was over just after the qualification. This is the official result now. It's also a thing that can of course happen here at this standardized 15.7 meter wall.
Okay, so start with the time. Okay, so we have
Leslie Adriana Romero from Spain, the 27-year-old. And we see here also Polina Halkiewicz, 17-year-old, second Spanish athlete, with Carla Martinez Vidal, 762 in the qualification heat. She is 23 years old, and also
And Louise Fontaine.
joining here the four-man with Kevin Amon. Maybe one of the Austrian favorites that we see here. A three-time national champion, the only one in the field that has a time of sub 5 seconds on the 15.7 meter wall in speed climbing. He was a little lucky, but shouldn't provoke you too much. Masinczynski, great performances. One Italian and one Spanish athlete as well, in the names of Guillaume Moro and Pierre Briand, that are through here to the semifinals. Here we go, just a few moments away before the women's semifinal number 1 is the first one to start. Leslie Adriana Romero Perez against Polina Halkiewicz, Ukraine against Spain. The last time that the Spanish actually won a competition was almost a year ago, June 24th in 2024. She won the IFSC European Cup in Austria, in Innsbruck. That was her last win on this stage for Polina Halkiewicz, the 17-year-old Ukrainian. It was not too long ago, 24 hours actually, only yesterday on the 16th of August. Not even that. She won the European Youth Cup yesterday, as she is of course still in the younger age group. Still the fastest time that we have seen today, 7.12 of the Spanish athlete in the red jersey of Leslie Adriana Romero Perez is going now for lane A, 7.12. Halkiewicz in the qualification, 7.67 and 7.58 around 15 minutes ago in her quarterfinal. The bodies, of course, they are on fire, ready to race, ready to break. their own records. Romero Perez, if she has a perfect race, she's the only one, I think, that is able to break the 7-second barrier. But she needs a fantastic run for this. The favorite on lane A. The Ukrainian with a good start, but now the Spaniard is off and is through to the final. 7 seconds exactly for the Spanish. Fastest time that we have seen here in a women's race on this weekend. And still possible to break the 7-second barrier here.
Especially in the big final. So Leslie will fight for gold. And Polina actually has the chance to make it to the podium to get that bronze medal today.
As the one who is falling out here of this race or loses the semi-final heats is going to the small final. The winner of the small final will be determined the third place. The loser is going to be in the fourth place. Louise Fontaine from France against Carla Martinez. 23-year-old. The Spanish athletes.
Ready?
Louise Fontaine from France. 18 years. Close, still close, still close. The Spanish still coming.
Small hiccups.
They are pushing their times also for Louise Fontaine. Her fastest time on this weekend in St. Polten, 7:24. She's the second finalist. Fontaine from France will face Romero Perez from Spain in the grande finale. Polina Kalkiewicz and Carla Martinez will go for the small battle for the third place.
So now we will start with the final from there.
Here are the official times. 7:005, just 5,000ths of a second. She was over the 7-second barrier. We shall see what's going to happen in a few moments. We're continuing the semi-final man right now with the Austrian Kevin Amon. He needs to focus a little better right now, as he was lucky to continue. Marcin Ginski, continuous 5.4 seconds in all of his heats. He seems to be, at least today, a very stable character, as Amon had 2-3 major problems here on home soil. 3-time national champion. Personal record of sub 5 seconds. Not a performance that many men in the world have done. The Austrian on the left side, the Polish on the right side.
During this focus phase, you can hear a pin drop. And Marcin makes the false start.
Which means that the Austrian is through to the final today.
Polish team has a bit of a bad luck streak here. But that's the fun thing. Well, for the winner at least, or for the unbiased viewer when watching.
Once again here, the Austrian is through with Kevin Amon and Guillaume Moreau, and on the other side, his teammate Pierre Rebriand fighting for this last spot. Rebriand on lane B again, 5:42. The man with the mustache in the quarterfinals. That was his best time on that weekend. France, of course, definitely already with the finalists.
Get your marks.
But with whom?
Ready?
French duel for the final against Amon in the
Pretty
Clays
much.
race. Close race.
Close.
The green mark says that Moro is through also. For him, the fastest time of the weekend, 5:32. Guillaume Moreau, the second one to join Kevin Amon in the finals. Either it's going to be an Austrian winner here or a French one.
But Kevin's podium is one of the few things in speed climbing. That's for sure. That's the podium.
Whatever is going to happen, false start, anything else, he's through first or second place. Disqualified Marcin Ginski, and Guillaume Moreau advances to the big final for the first or the second place. Pierre Briand is going to face Marcin Ginski in the small final.
Yes, so now we will see firstly the small final of the women's team, and afterwards the small finals of the men's.
Here's the full bracket once again, from the round of 16 to the quarterfinals to the semifinals and down to the big final. You can also see the whole case of the results on the IFSC website or on austriaclimbing.com. Well, Austria with Johanna Nagel, they also had one little promising athlete, but that got kicked out in the round of 16, whereas on the men's side, Kevin Amon, a co-favorite for the win here for the podium, is through to the final with a couple of minor errors, with no real performance needed in the semi-finals, but now with the big chance maybe to win here in this competition. The small finals, of course, the ones who are going to happen first. And then later on it's going to be the big finals. Polina Halkiewicz, Carla Martinez Vidal will be the first ones to come out. And after this, the final, Leslie Adriana Romero Perez against Louise Fontaine. We've got a pretty solid temperature out there, around 25 degrees Celsius. Here in St. Polten, it's 2:10 p.m. in the afternoon. It's the third out of 4 stages in the European Cup in the discipline of speed, as one in Portugal was unfortunately cancelled. Would have been 5 different places actually to be hosting a speed cup. Now it's down to 4, so the maximum amount of points that you can get is 4,000. As for a win, the winner will receive 1,000 points on their base.
So the belayers just got ready, so I guess we're in for a treat.
We are in for the small finals. These are the 2 losers, if you want to say so, of the semifinals, but they're of course still fighting for the podium. On the right side, in the red jersey, the 23-year-old from Spain, from Paleja, Carla Martinez Vidal, is fighting actually for her first podium in 2 years. On the 12th of June in 2023, she ranked 2nd at the Speed European Cup, also in Austria, in Innsbruck. And she's, as we talked before about the 17-year-old Ukrainian Polina Halkiewicz, the winner from yesterday's competition. It's a battle for the 3rd place, for one of the 3 spots on the podium.
At your marks.
Here we go. It's finals time in St. Polten. It's the fights for the third place in the women's competition.
Back to presentation.
One last little checkup if everything with the holds is still fine.
No, it's not the holds, it's the pads. You can see it. You can't see it the way the camera pans now, but one of the judges is actually stepping on the pad and now checking the contact mat of it. Judge is
Well, seems like we are ready for the battle for the third place. Kaljevich from the Ukraine,
At your marks.
lane A, left side, Martinez Vidal from Spain.
And this is a very difficult situation now for Kalkevich. Now, Polina got confused because Carla decided to check the pad again. Very difficult, very hard to keep the focus.
And it's, of course, athletes here are that focused that they can only keep up that focus for a few seconds. So they need to calm down sometimes again, refocus for their few seconds.
Especially if, like, Polina stood there for quite a while
Ready?
until Carla was ready.
Spain is off a little bit. Kaljevich not too far away. We are not up there yet, but now we are, and it's
So
a third
close.
place for Carla Martinez Vidal, who makes it again on the podium after almost 2 years, where she won a European Cup in Innsbruck with the second place, and now she's back on the podium with the third place. Carla Martinez Vidal, the 23-year-old Spanish athlete from Paleja, third place at the end of the day.
Polina, on the other hand, is really sad now. She must have really longed for that second podium in a row. But two back-to-back podium finishes on one weekend is so incredibly hard. It's already really hard, especially for an under-19 competitor to get into the semifinals twice in a row.
Marcin Ginski from Poland, very experienced athlete, 32 years already of age, facing the 28-year-old Pierre Rebrion from France. He missed one of the first holds, got disqualified Ginski. Rebrion with a little faster times today. Race is on, battle for the
Let's
third
see.
place.
Looking good.
It's going to
at
be a
both
tight
sides.
one.
Oh,
5:48.
so close again.
.541. Rebrion takes the third place here in this race, and therefore for him, also after being away from a podium already for quite a while, it was in Laval, France in 2021, he's also back now at a podium. Well, congratulations, Beam. That's been a long time.
Now we have the big final for gold and the little speed wall trophy that they get if they win.
And 1,000 points, of course, also in the overall ranking, either for Louise Fontaine, the 18-year-old French athlete that we see here, that has won last year in the 28th, 1st of July, her last race, And on the other side, 27-year-old Leslie Adriana Romero Perez, who has shown today how great she is, who made the second place this year at the European Cup in Poland. Spain versus France. Spain is a little ahead, and the French is back, but it doesn't look too smooth, but now she is through. Romero Perez takes the 1,000 points here in St. Polten and the win.
With 7.111 seconds.
Yeah,
What a
we've
time.
got our winner. She's had the fastest times almost in all rounds, had the fastest time in the qualification with 7:12, and now gets the win. On one side pretty easily, on the other side in the final race we did not see this big duel. Maybe now in the men's final, because also for the Austrian crowd it's about winning or losing right now, as Kevin Amon, a three-time national champion, wants to win here on home soil against Guillaume Moreau from France, against the 30-year-old French athletes from Villefranche-sur-Saône. Second place for him this year in the Speed European Cup in Italy. His last win is already a few years away, 2021 on the 23rd of June. And where else could it have been than in Austria? That 4 years ago he won his last European Cup. For Kevin Amon,
Should be the first one.
for the 20-year-old only. He's got a big career maybe ahead of him, maybe starting with a win today here. Better start for the Austrian, the French, they are up. Toe-to-toe race, it's the win for the Austrian, just by 1/100th of a second. The win from the Austrian on home soil, 5.27. It was the hit for the buzzer up there. He took a little faster ahead of Guillaume Moreau. Great race of both here. And suck, that was it, 5:27. Almost looked like he missed it a little bit. But finally takes the win at the very last race of this European Cup here in speed climbing in St. Polten. Well, a finish, Lisa, that I think organizers and Austrian climbing fans have wished for.
Yes. He is in such a good form this season. Almost made it into one of the fastest finals ever in a World Cup. I think by only just a couple of thousands. And was waiting for his moment to shine in a European Cup.
In the World Cups, he has been in between the 17th and the 25th place, and now it's a win on home soil at the European Cup. 1,000 points also on his database. Well, congratulations, first of all, to him, but also to the winner in the women's competition, to Leslie Adriana Romero Perez. There will be just a few minutes of a break here, then the official victory ceremony probably will follow here, as we're going to see the results once again in the women's final. First of all, third place, Carla Martinez Vidal. Second place for Louise Fontaine from France. And the first place and the win in the 1,000 points here go to Leslie Adriana Romero Perez. That was the full bracket here once again, as we started at 1 p.m. with the round of 16. Down with the winners to the quarterfinals, down with the top four to the semifinals, and to the winners with two Spanish on the podium, with Leslie Adriana Romero Perez as the winner.
I wanted to thank you for watching, for maybe even tomorrow, as it cut a little short, the live streaming at least. But thank you for watching. I also wanted to thank our sponsors. Without this event couldn't have happened. So thank you all, and I guess we'll see the awarding ceremony shortly.
Well, I hope so. Thank you very much, Lisa, because I guess you have to work now?
Yeah,
Well,
I
then-
gotta help preparing the award ceremony. So, bye.
Well, we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then victory ceremony is coming up.
wrist looking like it been dipping. Script looking like it been flipping. Pull up in that for my car. Please say it ain't true. I had to go and cop too well. Now we can't fit that.
here are the medalists for the women's category. Bronze goes to Martinez Vidal Carlo.
tô louca pra te ver. Você é beleza pura, pura perfeição. Não posso te perder. Você é minha loucura, minha inspiração. Tô louca pra te ver. Você é beleza pura.